When France and Senegal step onto the pitch for this high-stakes 2026 World Cup encounter, the atmosphere will be suffocating. To the modern media, it's a clash between a European football aristocracy and an African powerhouse. But for anyone who understands the deep psychological scars of international football, this match is a terrifying replay of the greatest opening day shock in World Cup history.
Go back to Seoul, 2002. France arrived as the undisputed rulers of the world, reigning world and European champions, stacked with top scorers from England, Italy, and France. Senegal was making their absolute debut, a squad built entirely of players from obscure French mid-table clubs. On paper, it was a routine slaughter. In reality, it was a football assassination. Papa Bouba Diop's legendary sliding goal didn't just win a match, it shattered the myth of French invincibility. For 24 years, that single night has haunted the French Football Federation. Tomorrow, as Les Bleus look into the eyes of the Lions of Teranga, they aren't just fighting for 3 points. They are fighting to exorcise a ghost that has been waiting in the shadows for over 2 decades. To truly grasp the intensity of this rivalry, you have to look past the football pitch and into the brutal pages of history. For over a century, Senegal was under French colonial rule. The French language, the laws, and the systems were imposed upon the soil of West Africa. But when independence was reclaimed in 1960, a new, unspoken battlefield emerged, the football pitch. Instead of rejecting the French system, Senegal did something brilliant. They mastered it. Famous academies like Generation Foot and Diambars were established on the Atlantic coast, designed with a hyper-focused blueprint. They utilized top-tier French scouting networks and training methodology, but injected it with raw, explosive West African athleticism and the cultural spirit of Teranga, unyielding solidarity. For decades, French club football relied on this assembly line of raw talent, exporting the finest minds and bodies from Dakar to Ligue 1. France thought they were simply securing a cheap supply of elite athletes. They didn't realize they were funding and training the very architects who would study their tactical DNA, master their defensive structures, and build a national team designed specifically to hunt them down. The student didn't just learn from the master. The student mapped the master's weaknesses, adapted to their pressure, and created an identity that European tactical systems cannot easily calculate. Tomorrow, Senegal is not just playing a game. They are executing a multi-generational masterclass. This leads us to the most volatile, emotional element of tomorrow's match, the war of dual identity. Modern international football is defined by migration, and nowhere is this more explosive than between France and Senegal. Half of the regular Senegal starting lineup wasn't born in Dakar. They were born, raised, and highly trained in the concrete suburbs of Paris, Lyon, and Marseille. These are players who held dual citizenship, boys who wore the French blue at youth levels, but when the moment of truth came, chose to represent the lion on their chest over the French rooster. To the French public, it's a betrayal of the system that built them. To the players, it is a deeply personal reclamation of their heritage. When these players walk onto the pitch tomorrow, they know the French tactical secrets better than anyone else. They grew up playing in the same academy systems as the French superstars, tracking the same movements and learning the same tactical vulnerabilities. They don't fear France because they are part of the same machine. This creates a terrifying tactical paradox for Didier Deschamps' side. How do you prepare a tactical trap for an opponent who already knows exactly how your mind works? Tomorrow, the lines of nationalism, colonial history, and modern tactical execution will blur into 90 minutes of absolute chaos. When we look at the tactical board for this 2026 showdown, the match presents a fascinating, brutal paradox. France, under Didier Deschamps, operates like a highly calibrated European corporate machine. They rely on suffocating positional play, mechanical efficiency, and isolating their multi-million-dollar wingers to create numerical advantages. It is a system designed to tire you out mentally before they deliver the final, lethal blow. But Senegal does not tire. The Lions of Teranga bring an unmatched, terrifying combination of raw West African physical power and elite tactical intelligence. They don't just absorb French pressure, they invite it, using an aggressive mid-block press designed to turn the midfield into a war zone. This is no longer about sophisticated tactics. It is a battle of physical exhaustion and mental willpower. The absolute key to this entire match lies in the wide channels. France loves to bomb their ultra-fast fullbacks forward to overload the flanks. However, this high-pressing strategy leaves a massive, gaping ocean of space behind their defensive line. If Senegal's midfield can win the ball in transition and exploit those exact spaces within 3 seconds, France's backline will be forced into a dead sprint backward, a territory where they historically look deeply uncoordinated. Watch the transitional half spaces closely. The team that blinks first in possession will pay an immediate, devastating price. Senegal's wingers are engineered to punish high lines, while France possesses the individual world-class quality to score from absolute nothing. It is a tactical chess match played at a blistering, modern speed. This brings us to the ultimate verdict for this massive 2026 World Cup opening clash. Will France finally slay the ghost of 2002 and execute a cold, ruthless European masterclass? Or will Senegal's post-colonial blueprint trap the kings of Europe in another historic, psychological assassination? History favors the heavyweights, but the pitch only respects the hungry. Now, the real war moves straight to the comments. Can Senegal repeat history and shatter France once again? Or will Les Bleus prove their world-class dominance? Drop your exact score predictions right below. If you want to uncover the dark, hidden history and tactical wars behind the world's greatest football rivalries, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is Historia Prime, and the pitch never forgets.